Hello everyone, welcome to patch 13.10 rundown of the new items or reworked items for supports, assassins, and ADCs. This is a very huge change. We're going to start with Chalice of Blessing, which is an item for mana hungry mages, I guess. 200 health, 75% base mana regen, and you get base health regen for every base mana regen. Chalice of Blessing builds into Redemption, Mikaels, and Echoes of Helia, so we see Redemption and Mikaels have a new build path, and Echoes of Helia we are going to go into. Echoes of Helia is a new support item that is made from Chalice of Blessing and Banoglass Mirror, and Soul Siphon is the passive of this item. Damaging a champion grants a soul shard up to a maximum of 2 soul shards. Healing or shielding an ally consumes all soul shards and restores 40 to 120 health, and deals 40 to 210 magic damage per shard to the nearest enemy champion. And then there's also another passive, Dissonance, gain 3 ability power per 25% base mana regen. And then the mythic passive gives ability haste. And now another new support item, Lifelore Pendant for 1050 gold, gives 150 health, 200 armor, and 100% base health regen, and it's built off of a ruby, crystal, and a cloth armor. This item is built into Zeke's, Knight's Vow, Locket, and Even Shroud, which changes all of their build paths. And last but not least, in the support items, Imperial Mandate is getting a change in its build. It is no longer a Kindle Gem to build the item, it is an Amp Tome. Now that we're done with the support items, we're going to move on to the Assassin items, which also had a few major changes. Youmuu's Ghostblade is now a mythic item. Ghostblade now grants 60 attack damage, 18 lethality, 20 ability haste, and has a new passive called Haunt. Gain up to 100 spectral shards while moving, gain up to 50 move speed out of champion combat based on the number of spectral shards. While at max shards, gain 10 to 20 lethality. Shards will reset every 4 seconds after dealing damage to an enemy champion. And the active is still the movement speed and ghost, but while it is active, you generate stacks for spectral shards 2 times faster, and the mythic passive is 8 attack damage per legendary item. Duskblade, they reworked the passive ability. Night Stalker, your abilities deal up to 15% damage based on the target's missing health. When a champion that you have damaged in the last 3 seconds dies, you become untargetable from non-structures for 1.5 seconds, and that has a 10-second cooldown. So there's no longer the invisibility. And now Prowler's Claw, which is one of the bigger problems of the assassin items. Now it is, instead of having a dash active and dealing more damage, it's Sandstrike. After dashing, blinking, or exiting the stealth, your next attacker and a champion deals additional physical damage, which has a 5-second cooldown, and if it's dealt by a melee champion, it's like old Duskblade passive, your attack slows the target by 99% for 0.5 seconds. And now starting with the ADC items, we have Guinsoo's Rageblade, which is 30 attack damage, 30 ability power, 25 attack speed, and your attacks apply magic damage on hit like old Rageblade. Once again, when you attack 4 times, you get double on hit. But now it is a mythic, and it grants legendary items 5% armor penetration, 6% magic penetration. And since it now gives ability power, and a bunch of ADCs have been buffed on AP ratios, you can see how it is important. The build path for Rageblade has been slightly altered. Rage Knife now costs 1200. It has 1 Amp Tome and 1 Pickaxe. Next, we have Infinity Edge, which has been changed to a mythic, which is 70 attack damage, 20% critical strike chance, and 35 critical strike damage. And the mythic passive grants legendary items 5 attack damage. The build path has not been changed at all. And now we have Navori Quickblades, and nothing has changed besides the fact that there's a mythic passive that grants legendary items 5 ability haste. And for the last of the mythic items, we have Gale Force for 55 attack damage, 15% attack speed, 20% critical strike chance, 7% move speed. The active is still basically the same, you still dash, and the rockets deal a total of 150 to 350 damage based on level, plus scaling on your crit chance physical damage, and obviously deals more damage against low health targets. It is not magic damage anymore, it is physical damage. The build path has been changed. It is now a BF sword, a Zeal, and a long sword compared to Noon Quiver, Pickaxe, and Cloak. And now moving on to the legendary items, we have Immortal Shield Bow, which is not a mythic anymore, but a legendary. 50 attack damage, 20% critical strike chance, 7% lifesteal. Lifeline is still basically the same thing, 215 to 500 shield for 3 seconds, and you get 30% attack speed for 8 seconds. The build path has changed. It is now a Pickaxe, Cloak, and a Vamp Scepter. Kraken Slayer is also no longer a mythic item, it's a legendary, giving 40 attack damage, 30% attack speed, 20% critical strike chance, and the passive is Bring It Down. Every third attack applies 20 plus 60% attack damage plus 45% magic damage, bonus magic damage. And additional triggers on target within 6 seconds increase the damage by 50% to a max of 40 plus 120% AD damage plus 90% magic damage. And the build path for Kraken Slayer has changed. It is now a Noon Quiver, a Cloak, and a Recurve Bow. Next, we have Rapid Fire Cannon changes. Gives 30 attack damage now instead of giving none. The build path has changed. It is now a Longsword of Zeal and a Shiv. And now Storm Razor has been buffed for 10 AD, so it is now 55 damage. And the build path has slightly changed. It is now Noon Quiver, Cloak, and a Shiv. Now, a decently big change on Lord Dominic's. Giant Slayer has been changed to deal 25% bonus physical and magic damage against champions with greater max health than you. And now, keeping the best for last, Static Shiv is back. 45 attack damage, 25% attack speed, 20% critical strike chance, and it builds an energizing attack. And Electroshock is your energized attack that applies 60 to 170 plus 50% bonus magic damage, increased to 120 to 340 plus 100% magic damage against minions, and it hits 6 to 12 targets depending on level. And now the build path for Static Shiv is a Noon Quiver, a Cloak, and a Shiv. And thank you everyone so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you later. Goodbye.